What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new breakdown, this time for Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yep, that movie is still coming out this July, in case you thought Marvel's year was over after Infinity War hits theaters in May, and the first trailer is finally here. But don't feel bad because I almost completely forgot about it too. But let's get down to the bee's knees, the brass tacks, and the subatomic nitty-gritty. Our trailer opens with some high-profile Marvel connectivity, the movie universe version of name-dropping, and answers one of the biggest questions to come out of Captain America: Civil War. Scott Lang, the titular Ant-Man, played by Paul Rudd, asks Hope Van Dyne, the Wasp, played by Evangeline Lilly, about what some have called, maybe ironically, one of the bigger plot holes in Captain America: Civil War. As Hope was set up to become Wasp at the end of Ant-Man, how come she didn't come with Scott when Cap came calling in Civil War? The answer, according to this trailer, Scott didn't ask. We're not sure whether or not that'll be a big recurring theme or question in the movie, or if it's just in the trailer to remind people that yes, Ant-Man does exist in a larger MCU, but it does underscore the amount to which Ant-Man and the Wasp is affected by what came before. Specifically, Scott's choice of team, siding with Captain America, has gotten him in even more trouble with the law, and now, as Cap broke him out of the raft at the end of Civil War, we can only assume that he got caught again, as this movie finds him under house arrest by the FBI. From what we've seen in the trailer, he should be regretting not calling Hope for that fight though, because one of the main points the trailer conveys is that she is still a badass, and the suit only amplifies it by giving her wings and blasters to boot. We quickly learn that his actions in Civil War also affected Hope and Hank Pym, once again played by Michael Douglas, as they had to go on the run too. Why? Well, this trailer doesn't exactly spill the beans for us, but it's likely that the government knew of their existence either because of Scott or because of Hank's past exploits and came calling for them too. Regardless, their only problem isn't with the law in this movie because there's another villain in this film too, Ghost, played by Hannah John Kamen. In the comics, Ghost was an engineer who invented computer chips called Ghost Tech that could phase into an intangible state, somehow allowing them to hold massive amounts of data in the process. After the company he worked for tried to snuff him out, he created a sophisticated suit inspired by the Ghost Tech, allowing him to become both invisible and intangible. Using his knowledge of computers and that stealth suit, he became an industrial saboteur for hire. In this film, obviously, Ghost is going to be played by a woman, and it remains to be seen exactly how much of that backstory is going to remain. I'd bet on very little, but the part about industrial sabotage might stick around, because it kind of fits in nicely with some of the themes and plot points from the first movie. There's also a decent chance that Lawrence Fishburne's character is somehow involved in the creation of Ghost. He's playing Bill Foster, a character in the comics that was a scientist who worked closely with Hank Pym, gaining size-altering powers as well and taking up the name Black Goliath. In addition to those newcomers, we'll be seeing some major returning characters in this movie too. On the family side of things, Scott's daughter Cassie is back, as is his ex-wife Maggie, played by Judy Greer, and her new husband Paxton, played by Bobby Cannavale. The real scene stealer from the first movie is back too. Michael Pena is Scott's fast-talking friend Luis, who as far as we can tell in this movie has traded his dad's van for a souped-up purple Hyundai complete with flames on the side and all. Overall, we don't know much about the plot of this film, and the trailer doesn't actually give that much away. All we know right now is that somehow it involves the search for Hope's mom, Hank's ex-wife, Janet, played in this movie by Michelle Pfeiffer, who we learned last film disappeared into the quantum realm in a shrinking accident. We see a craft throughout this trailer that kind of looks like a spaceship that probably is involved in that search. I mean, the strange ship-like thing that we see first here, and later shrunk down to microscopic size. Really though, the first Ant-Man was one of the surprise hits of the MCU in my mind. I mean, it was basically a real heat check moment for the Marvel franchise. I mean, Ant-Man is a pretty ridiculous C-list character, but if he worked on screen, then Marvel could basically adapt anything into a movie. What followed was actually a pretty solid Marvel outing, despite a very public and troubled production with Edgar Wright's high-profile departure, resulting in an 82% Rotten Tomatoes score and bringing in more than $500 million worldwide. Enough for the studio to decide that, hey, it worked enough, let's create a sequel. To me, that first movie felt really fresh, both in terms of its relatively small-scale plot, no pun intended, compared to the rest of the MCU, and in its humor. It was really very different from the rest of the Marvel movies in my mind, and thankfully, it looks like that humor is going to be sticking around in a big way in this movie as well. Let me know what you thought of the trailer in the comment section down below, but that's going to do it for me here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. For even more content, check out our website at hybridnetworkyt.com, and if you love HN and want to take your support to the next level, consider donating to us on Patreon as we strive to bring you the best content possible. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.